Introduction to triangles. First, we just want to identify the parts of a triangle. A vertex is each point joining the two sides of a triangle. So we have vertex A, vertex B, and vertex C. Those are also known as the angles of a triangle. Next, we want to talk about adjacent sides, and these are two sides sharing a common vertex. So side length AB and then BC are adjacent sides sharing vertex B. Then BC and CA, so here we have segment BC and segment CA, and those are adjacent sides sharing vertex C. And then CA and AB, we have side CA and then side AB, and they share vertex A. Next, we want to talk about how to classify triangles. Classifying triangles by their sides, the word equilateral means you have three congruent sides. Isosceles means that you have at least two congruent sides. So remember, that term at least is really important here. Scalene triangles have no congruent sides. If we classify triangles by their angles, an acute triangle is one that has three angles less than 90 degrees. So all three angles have to be acute. A right angle has exactly one angle equal to 90 degrees. An obtuse triangle has exactly one angle greater than 90 degrees. And an equiangular triangle has three congruent angles. Next, we're just going to do a little practice. I want you to classify each triangle by its angles and sides. So make sure you pay attention to the sides as well as the angles, and I want you to write down the classification for each triangle and then check back with me when you're finished. For this first one, we know that it's isosceles because these two sides have the congruent marking on them. And then when you look at the angles, 30, 75, and 75 are all acute angles. So since all three are acute, this is an isosceles acute triangle. Now the second one, we have this right angle marking, which tells us it's a right triangle, but we don't have any markings on the sides. Now I need you to be careful about triangles like this. I know you want to say it looks like it's isosceles because these two sides look like they're the same length, but if they don't have the marking or if you're not told that information, you cannot assume. So this is a scalene right triangle. In number 3, we have three congruent sides, which means that it's equilateral, but it also fits the description of isosceles because isosceles means that it has at least two. So since there are at least two congruent sides, it's also isosceles. Now when you look at the angles, we have three angles with the congruent marking. So since they're all the same, it's equiangular. But the other thing we know is that the angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if all three of these are exactly the same and you divide by 3, that means each of these angles is going to be 60 degrees. So if each of these angles is actually 60 degrees, 60 degrees is less than 90 and it's acute. That means that we have three acute angles. So the classification for example 3 is equilateral, isosceles, equiangular, and acute. For example 4, again, we run into that situation where we don't have any side markings, so our default answer is scalene. And then we have this one angle that is 108 degrees, which is greater than 90. So this is a scalene obtuse triangle. In example 5, we have a right angle and no markings on the sides. So again, we have a scalene right triangle. And for example number 6, we have that obtuse angle again, but we have two sides that have those congruent markings on them. So this is going to be an isosceles obtuse triangle. That's it for the introduction into triangles.